Good afternoon, one and all. Almost good evening, really, isn't it? We've not done one of these for a little while, a little live with Gonzo, a little chit chat. And the reason I'm doing it is because recently I've done a couple of the comments videos. They seem to have gone down really well. So I thought, why not do a live one? It's always a tricky one the day before a game. So why not do a live chit chat tonight rather than an upload early tomorrow morning? But I've waited for all the football to finish, and the football has finished. Well, Spurs have slipped up, basically. Spurs didn't just slip up, though. They really didn't. For anybody that has seen that, they got completely dominated. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. Why shouldn't I smile? They got completely dominated. I know Brentford gave us a good old whooping last week, but they weren't even remotely in the game. Brighton passed them off the pitch. They were completely nullified. They did not look like a team that had any momentum at all. Clearly, they do have momentum. I think Conte's a good manager. I think they're a good team. But it just goes to show that it ain't over until the fat lady sings, so to speak. That's not the only thing that happened. Let me just make sure I've got the score right. I think it was 1-0. It was Southampton beat Arsenal 1-0. They've had no form at all. None whatsoever. I'm talking about Southampton here. And they've gone in and they've just beaten Arsenal. And you just sort of wonder if it gets to near the end of the season, they have a bit of squeaky bum. Now, this is why a couple of weeks ago I was very reticent to shout from the rooftops that this was a new Tottenham. This is what Tottenham do in recent years. Tottenham are a top six club. Sometimes they play well, then they dip and they get a bit flaky. It's why they haven't won the league. Arsenal have been like this probably, to be fair, since about 2 years after they moved stadium. And that's what they do. They have patches of excellence, both teams, and then they just, because to be fair, just nobody can really match the consistency of City and Liverpool. I watched that game today, by the way. And Chelsea sort of get a little bit close. So I think that's the thing. You think these are going to go to the end of the season, and Tottenham and Arsenal just aren't. Now, that wasn't the only game. So Manchester United announced that whatever his name is, Ten Hag, was coming in from Ajax. And they sort of officially, but unofficially, let it be known that Ronaldo was surplus to requirements. I'm coming in. I'm going to play it my way. By the way, you can go. Basically, Norwich were going to beat Man United today, and I believe, I didn't watch the game, but as I understand it, Man United. I say Man United scored a hat trick. No, Ronaldo scored a hat trick. Basically, Arsenal beat Norwich. Sorry, Norwich beat Man United, but Cristiano Ronaldo beat Norwich. So you have to wonder about the wisdom of that. Really, don't you? Anyway, other news. The idea of this is I'm going to get very interactive and basically just discuss your comments. So I'll go back to the top in a second and work through them all. And the other thing, the little bit of news today, really, is that, well, it's that Declan Rice. David Moyes is pushing for Declan Rice to get a new contract at 200 grand a week. Good. Quite frankly, I do think there's a finite limit to what we can offer him, because we're only going to be allowed to spend so much. I don't want to go into it in this video about the financial fair play rules, but basically they're trying to ratchet it so as within 5 years' time you can only spend a 70% of your income, and they're going to work their way towards that. I think we should try and do everything we can to keep Declan Rice. That bit of news is quite pertinent. There's another bit which is Newcastle in for Darwin Nunez. In all honesty, I'm sick of talking about Newcastle. I'm sick of hearing about Newcastle. They already annoy me. They're going to annoy me more and more the longer it goes on. All I would say is that we qualify for Europe, which, the league table, we got to win. We got to beat Burnley tomorrow. If we qualify for Europe, and based on what we've done this year in Europe, really, it doesn't really matter whether they agree a bid. Really, there should be no competition. If Barcelona or one of the very top clubs are not having Nunez, then really you should think you would want to come to West Ham rather than Newcastle. Why? Because we got European pedigree. And doesn't that sound good? The other thing, just before I go to the comments, is obviously Sean Dyche has been sacked. Weird one, right? I understand they've been pretty crap, but you can't imagine they'll get somebody else in who's going to do better. They were either going to go down or they weren't. The best, I think, way they had to stay up was by keeping Sean Dyche. whatever, they're likely to go down. Who's going to get them back up? Well, the most likely bloke to get them back straight up to the Premier League would be Sean Dyche. So I just think that's a really, really, really weird one. But yes, we must beat Burnley tomorrow. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, one and all, for joining us. Have a little look who's in chat today. Alphanumeric, hello. Toby. Well, Toby just jumped straight in. 50 million Rashford bid. Is that news, Toby, or is that just something you fancy us doing? Year left on his contract going into next year. Not sure he's worth 50 million. Man United would like him to be worth 50 million. If this new guy comes in, which he is going in, will he fancy him? Will he not? I think whoever ends up getting Rashford eventually will not have to pay 50 million. But as I've said many times, Rashford needs to concentrate on his football. And yet there he was again. I saw him this morning. I switched on Sky Sports News or something. I switched something on this morning. And there he was doing an advert about this, that. I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I mean, he just really needs to play his football. He needs to pass all that stuff on someone else. It wasn't, don't get me wrong, I'm not being nasty. It wasn't about free school meals or anything like that. It was just like an endorsement type thing. He just should be saying, no, sorry, I can't even get in the Man U team. I can't be standing up there doing adverts for Sky Sports. I think it might have been for Google. Maybe it was for Google. I think it might have been that. Hello, Ray. Jazzers there. Sebastian says, hey, Gonzo, hope you have an excellent day. Not a bad day, mate. I've been watching the football, really. Bit of a lazy day. Nice weather at the moment. Andy Walsh, The Buzz, Andy Imp. Oh, look, Andy says afternoon all. And Andy Imp says evening all. Is it afternoon or is it evening? There's me. There's me mate there, Steve 50. He says, there we go. Football question. Hello, Steve. How much do you think we'll have to spend in the summer? Do you think we'll get Jesse and Tarkowski? I think this plays in, Steve, to what I was just saying. Jesse Lingard. Look, Newcastle going to be a pain in the arse. I've just mentioned them again. I'll try and stop. Who are you going to choose? I think you've got to choose West Ham if you're Jesse Lingard. Look, he's been here before. He loves West Ham. It's clearly not true, is it? But he would have some kind of, let's say, some sort of attraction towards West Ham. He's got relationships with the players and the manager. He knows how he'll be used. He certainly knows at West Ham. Here's the thing about Lingard. He certainly knows at West Ham that if we get him, we're not going to go and bring in a replacement for him. Do not rule out if you go to Newcastle, if you're brought as an attacking midfielder, and I think it's fair that if we just call Jesse Lingard an attacking midfielder, and I think we can. If you go to Newcastle, if you're an attacking midfielder and you're on a free, the moment someone else starts to excel in Europe, let's say Coutinho has an excellent end to the season. Let's say whatever, Ericsson, whatever. Let's say Coutinho has an excellent end to the season, doesn't sign for Aston Villa, and is available for 25 million. Well, maybe Newcastle think, actually, we'll get Coutinho as well. Do you want to be in that situation as Jesse Lingard? No. Jesse Lingard knows if he comes to West Ham, he's going to play pretty much every game, and we won't bring in another attacking midfielder. He gets to be the main guy. Why is Jesse upset? Not upset, but why is he disenchanted at Man United? Well, because he's not the main guy. He may well, if he goes to Newcastle, the way they look like they're going to possibly hoover up players, just mention them again. He may well find himself in the very situation at Newcastle that he wants to leave at Manchester United, which is basically being a squad player. That's my thought on that. There he is. Come on, you Irons. Quite right, too. Andy Lawson, evening all. Watching from work 2-0 tomorrow. Now, hold on. What's all this? I regret not saying hi to you after the first leg, that performance on Thursday. Jazz, don't worry, mate. Listen, you're obviously somewhere near me in the stadium, mate. So I've booked for the Frankfurt game. The tickets are interesting for that. Oh, if you haven't seen it, by the way, on today's video, in the comments, when I say today's video, it's on the forum channel. Somebody has obviously got a good knowledge of Frankfurt. He's written, I thank him very much for this. Have a scroll down the comments. He's written how to get to Frankfurt, about the two varying different airports, what you'd have to do, where you should stay. It's actually a really, really informative piece for anybody. It's just a post underneath the video. It's just a really informative piece for anybody that's thinking of going out there and hasn't travelled out there before. Yeah, but I booked for Frankfurt 2 tickets, which obviously myself and my son have got the season tickets there. And then what they're allowing people to do this time is to buy season tickets. You can buy 2 additional tickets. Before that, in the previous rounds, it's been 4 additional tickets before they go on general sale. The issue is, I don't know if you know this story, and my old mate Tone sent me the story that Frankfurt managed to get about 30,000 fans into the Nou Camp. So that they'll probably try and pull a similar type stunt. So I think it's very, very important we do hoover up the tickets ourselves. Not obviously you want some to go on general sale, but at the moment they do, Frankfurt fans are going to try and buy them. One thing I've really liked when we've played in Europe this season is when the away section hasn't been full, we've chucked them up the top and up the back. Now, I think it's a crappy thing to do, but it's also done to us, and I think we've got to play the game. And what I think it shows is it shows a little bit of harmony between the stadium operator and the club itself, which hasn't always been evident. And I think that's important. I would expect Frankfurt to take up all their allocations, so our fans down the front, they will be noisy. But we can be noisy as well. It's really feels so close. I was even thinking about it today. Sort of winning a European trophy feels so far, and then I think, well, it's I would never allow myself to think, oh well, Frankfurt, we should beat them. And almost when I started reading where they were in the league, I started to try and discount it. I did the same with Lyon. I think when we drew Lyon, they were 9th in the 10th in the league, French league. And then they were 9th, and it's easy to think, well, we should be better than the 9th or 10th team in France. But you can't allow yourself. So, and then I looked at it and I thought, well, hold on a second. It's actually Frankfurt, Leipzig, and Rangers and us. One of those teams is going to win a European trophy. I mean, we're in with a real chance. And then I start to get a bit nervous. I start to panic myself. Whoa, calm down, mate. Calm down. Don't even think about it. Yeah, I sort of I do that with myself, basically. Not that anyone's speaking to me. There's Kevin? Hello, mate. Hope you're well. He says next 7 days fixtures could be critical. He ain't wrong. It's a big game tomorrow. A big game. It don't always fall in our favour, does it? You know, the way the fixtures come, not to the fixtures come out, but the way certain things surround the fixture list. You know, a team will get a new manager, a better manager just before they play us and get the manager bounce. A striker will just hit form just before they're about to play us and that sort of thing. You know what it's like being a West Ham fan, don't you? And I can't help but think that this time it's sort of gone for us. Because I don't think Burnley can be better for sacking Sean Dyche. Oh, sacking Sean Dyche. I don't think they can be better for it. I really don't. I think anyone who's going to get the most out of those players, it's him. Unless something's happened very recently while I've been recording this, then they don't have a manager. I think that plays into our hands, but we have to do it. I'd much rather play a team that's not led by Sean Dyche than one that was, if you know what I mean. Okay, what else have we got? Mr. Collingwood, he said these teams giving us hope. A top 4 is killing. I mean, look, Arsenal lost a plot. They still have us, Spurs, and Chelsea to play. I mean, that is really interesting, isn't it? I mean, first and foremost, we've got to have enough form that we finish above Wolves. European football again next season would be unprecedented for us. It just doesn't happen. This stuff doesn't happen at West Ham. And I have to keep thinking of the league. So I can't allow myself to do that dreamy stuff where we win the Europa League and qualify for the Champions League. Can you imagine? No, you see, you can't imagine. I have to stop. La. It's that again. I have to stop because I get carried away myself and my thoughts get carried away. And I know you've got to allow yourself a little dream and all the rest of it, but whoa, you know, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Imagine what it's like for the players, you know, to play Burnley. The players they must be dreaming of whatever they're thinking. Do you know what I mean? 3 more games until Champions League or something like that. Wow. I mean, wow, really amazing. It gets a bit dreamy, doesn't it? Hoping to see Man U slip up, says Contact Light. Happy about Spurs result, though. It's all still to play for. It is all still to play for. I mean, will we get 4th? Probably not. But it does put pressure on those going for 4th. And if there's pressure on them, then they slip up. You know, another loss for Tottenham in their next game. Actually, I can't be bothered to look at the fixtures at the moment. And then I don't know what the next game is. That's the point. And I'm sure someone will post it. The thing is, I'm so far behind in the chat. Even if you post it now, probably not going to read it for another 20 minutes. So apologies that. It just gets the nerves jangling for Tottenham, really, doesn't it? So you never know. You never know. But yes, I agree. What Mr. Collingwood said about Arsenal seem to have lost the plot. What's Darren saying? So how do you pick a man of the match from Thursday? I think I did. Did I? I think I probably picked Dawson. One of the best games from West Ham generation will ever see. You're absolutely right. He's 36 years old, just the same as me. He said a group of likeable players, and the added bonus of 3 English goal scorers. I hadn't even thought of that actually, but it was actually isn't that because let's be fair, right, as much as when we love a lot of our foreign signings that come over, we really do, don't we? Let's be perfectly honest. We love a bit of Souček and Ogbonna and whatnot, but it is international competition, which is what European competition is meant to be the best of ours against the best of yours. So there is an international part to it. I don't even think of that actually. It is good, isn't it? In Euro, I haven't even considered that. It's a good job you mentioned it in this video. I probably would have wrapped that up, talked about it for 10 minutes, and spun it out as a video during the week, Darren. But there you go, a really good spot, mate. Too bad Norwich couldn't finish the job. But do you know what, Vernon? Excuse me. Let me just have a sip. Me too. Oh. Tears. Tears. There will be bloody tears if we win the Europa League. I'll tell you that much. Now, crikey, I was a mess the other night. I didn't watch the game, Vernon, if truth be known. I was watching other stuff. But yeah, mate, you know what? Just goes to show. Well, this is the one. So, for that to happen, Kevin, they have to finish below Wolves. They are a mess, okay, in terms of they are anyway. All right, whether he's the best player in the world now, all right, if you just remove the nitpicking from it, or whether it was him and Messi, whatever, okay. But let's just say he is the greatest goal scorer that's ever lived, right? And he's still playing football now. The fact that he is dragging them out of this, I think, is probably giving a bit of a lie to the status of Man United. And it just goes to, I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. I know he's an arrogant swine. I really do. I know he loves himself. But this guy has just heard this week the surplus to requirements to get at Man United. I don't need you. They're basically, the new Man United manager said, I don't need you. You can leave. What character does it take to hear that and go, right, okay, have a look at this then. I'm the best. And do you know what? And I think that is quite an impressive thing, but I don't think that can maintain itself because clearly the manager now doesn't want to play him all the time. So you've got this manager now, what's his name? Ralph Ragnick? I don't even know what his name is, right? But he's got him who he's a bit funny. He's not very good. He's not any better than Solskjaer. Might be worse. He's not keeping a job. You've got another guy coming in who's basically already telling people that they can leave. It don't make for a harmonious squad. You've got expensive players that are out of form. You've got Paul Pogba, who is leaving. Basically, and he's probably, as I understand it, quite a disruptive influence around the place. Leaving for free. They spent £85 million on him. He's leaving for free. Leaving Man United for free for the second time, by the way. They got a defence that's in disarray. It's Kevin, you know what, mate? Who knows? It doesn't look good. Is that true? Is it true? Is it true? In all honesty, I don't watch it. I've seen it. I know what it is. There was a period probably 2 or 3 years ago where I watched it a bit, and there's just one person on there that really irritates me the hell out of me. I mean, irritates the hell out of me. It's that DT bloke. So I just don't watch it because I tell you, if something irritates me, I don't watch it. There's people almost every week. Someone will come on this channel, go, "Oh, I don't like you. You really annoy me." I thought, why are you watching then? Just don't watch it. I mean, so I don't watch it, but I thought they might have things might be a bit better for Arsenal Fan TV at the moment. But they have built their whole channel on that. All I would say is the Arsenal channels have the foundations of it are outrage. So they have to keep outrage up all the time. That's the thing. So it probably works. They're probably doing really good figures at the moment, to be honest with you. Chris Harris, evening everyone. Lambie 10, Lambie, tomorrow is a must win. Yes, it is, my friend. And Kevin W, who looks overdressed for this weather, really. Of course, Kevin, he certainly agrees. Yeah. Anyway. Gonzo, would you let Moyes fart in your face? Now, well, why would I let him? I mean, let's be fair. Do you know what? Look, I was just checking here. There's an air freshener. You possibly can't see it. It's just down like there. You probably can't see it. It's like a plug-in one. I'd have to check, even though he's not in here, even though he hasn't farted in my face, just a mere suggestion of it, Tom. I have to go and check my air freshener. Look, he's already done the results. What's the farting in my face going to do? I mean, at least make the question decent. Gonzo, would you let Moyes fart in your face if it would guarantee the Europa League trophy? Then the answer is yes. He can't. He's already done it. There's no point farting. He's not allowed to fart in my face now. I don't want anyone farting in my face, by the way. As I say, I'm a long way back in the thing. I hope if I scroll down, I bet in about 5 minutes there'll be loads of fart. Would you XYZ if somebody did this? I don't know, whatever. Anyway. What Sandy's saying. If the devs didn't take the 200k, yeah, absolutely. Is Ogbonna back on the grass yet? He is. Apparently he is, but I don't know if he's on the grass with everybody else. I think he might just be doing it on his own. I think everybody else is on the grass all as a group, and he's getting personal one-to-one training on the grass, I think, as I understand it at the moment. Vernon says, does it really? Win takes us to 5th. A goal difference is already better than both men. Is it? Hold on. I wish, do you know what I need around is Gatesy to show me how to do the share screen. There's a share screen option on this software I'm using. Where is the goal difference? We got 51 points. Goal difference. It is. I thought you were lying. Isn't it amazing? I mean, isn't it amazing? Yeah, I know what you meant, Andy, when you said Dex. That's a good name, isn't it? The cyber leader. I mean, everyone's saying we got to win tomorrow. Rest Antonio tomorrow. I mean, I'd say no. I'd say he's been that good. I would like to see something. I'll tell you what I'd love to happen, right? I don't want to dig Yarmolenko out, by the way, right? But I'm going to speak directly about Yarmolenko now. Did you see when he came on as a substitute? He sort of wasn't quite contesting the headers. He lost, I think, every header, and he's big. I think he's 6'2", 6'3", Yarmolenko. Every header he went for, he missed. He wasn't quite physically going for it. And, of course, he has to do that because he has to almost play a target man role because he's not fast enough to get in behind. And I thought if we were really after the game and chasing the game, he wouldn't have been good enough to get us anything from the game. I'd like to think if we can get a lead tomorrow, that actually what I'd love more to do is play Perkins. And just even give Perkins 45 minutes. I think so anyway. Good evening, Tommy. Do you want to join me, mate? Let me know if you want to join me. If you do want to join me, I'm going to open up Twitter, which it's not even on it. That's how recently I've opened it up. If you want to join me, mate, send me a personal message on Twitter now, and I'll send you, because I've not spoken to you in ages. It might be good to get your opinions on a few things. Evening, Nick. It's definitely evening, not afternoon now, I think. Dig, I've just discussed this. No, I don't think so, as long as we hoover up our tickets, which is what I said. Yeah, I am. I think we've got a finite amount of money, Gary. I don't know what it is, but let's say we have 100 million. We need another. There's something not right in our team, okay? And I'm sorry, it's that left-hand side. I'm not saying don't get me wrong, 4 hours was excellent and all the rest of it, but I think we have nothing to come off of there. I think we're one really good attacking player short. Fornals will always play, and he'll play in a multitude of various positions, and he might not always start. And, and to be fair, I don't think it matters to him. I think he'll be a member of the squad for a long, long time because he's just gets it, and he's West Ham really now, isn't he? But I think we need an attacking and another attack. I'm not talking about a striker. I think we need another attacker, be it a winger or a central midfielder, or whatever, a number 10. I think we've got to get one of those out of our budget. If we can get him for free, then it just makes more budget for the striker, the left back or whatever it is Moyes has got. Moyes has got plans. Ballon Dawson, he says no to Rashford unless he's cheap. And he's right. He's done nothing in recent seasons. You know, why are people going to pay 70 million for this player or 50 million based on something 2 or 3 years ago? And I don't wish to be cruel to Rashford. So I'm just saying he needs to concentrate on his football. He looks, every time I see him, I only say this because I like him. If it was a player I didn't care, I wouldn't even mention it. But he looks like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders. I mean, he really does. You cut loose of all this social media stuff and all this stuff, and you've done your bit. Helping the charity was great. I've said it before. Helping the charity was great when it was lockdown, when there was nothing else to do. But it's a bit like David Moyes. Look, when Moyes had nothing else to do, he went and helped a local charity, right? He did his stuff, but it's not like, don't say Moyes now he can't manage because he's still helping out a local charity. You've done your stuff. You've got the government to kick their arse into gear. You've made a charity. You earn enough money, appoint someone to run that charity for you. You know what I mean? Give that person 40 grand a year and they can run a charity for you. It's not even going to dent your wages. Do you know what I mean? I just think he needs to get back to football, and because no one's going to pay based on what he did 2 or 3 years ago. Simple as that. Well, it's not simple as that. That was it. That was it, Connor. Yes, mate. Yeah, that was it. Stop it. Does he need the money? The guy's on like 150, 200 grand a week. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get that about people that are already multi-millionaires. And actually, the thing that got you rich, anyway, it's up to him, really. Yeah. Do you think so? Do you think Burnley? I'm Big Sam, I mean. Well, hopefully it just waits. The thing is with Big Sam, I don't know if you noticed this with Big Sam. He, whenever he goes into a club, I don't know if this is the truth, but this is my perception of it. He always takes a game to look at it. He sits in the stand. His first game, have I got that right or have I got that wrong? I think that's what it is. And I always think, I find it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes. Don't we all? I'm just gonna. If you just wouldn't mind 1 second, I'm just gonna check my messages. There you go. It's Irish Tommy. Right. Okay. Just bear with me, please, folks, because what I want to do is I'm going to send Irish Tommy this link because he's always good for a bit of common sense. Right, there you go, Tommy. I've sent you the link, mate. I'll get back to it. I'll just wait for you to join us now. Make sure I've got my headphones there, which I do. There we go. A bit of Irish Tommy. What's this? Felt sorry for Jailings to take him. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know he played today. Oh, I didn't know. Okay, well, that's really interesting. Obviously, I didn't watch that because there was other better games on. I watched the Liverpool and Man City game. What a player! I know. I'm telling you old news here. What a player that Thiago is. Everyone's saying, "No shit, mate. Crikey, you're late to the party." Oh my word, what a footballer! I mean, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't pick him out of all those players on that pitch, but I don't know. I don't watch an awful lot of football that's not West Ham, to be perfectly honest with you. Hold on, I've done that. Did you post that twice? I've already dealt with that one. We'll have a big summer or another. Will we have? Did we have a? I don't think we had I didn't remember. I don't think we had a crap summer in terms of. I didn't know at that point that what's his name? That Vlasic was going to be crap. I thought Krell was going to be good. I know Krell came on late in the window, but near the transfer deadline day. But I don't think I was aware at the time that it was a crap summer. I only sort of about a third of the way into the season, I thought this is a crap summer. But by that time, it didn't matter at the start of the season because we were rampant. We started the season as well as it feels we started the season in a long, long time. But West Ham were excellent at the start. It was crap in the January transfer window. Certainly felt crap. You just wait there, Tommy boy. Just wait there, please, mate. Do a couple more. Tom, stop doing the farting question, for goodness sake. I feel like I've answered the David Moyes farting in my face. Are we actually buying a striker this summer? I don't think we will. I have to believe that we will. I have to believe that we will. I think the trouble is with Moyes. I think he's had. It feels to me like I said, 2 targets: Yosif En-Nesyri, and he really wanted to get him. So first of all, with a bit of Haller money and a bit of Diangana money, whatever it was, that's the guy I want. I want to go and get him. And Yosif En-Nesyri didn't want to leave Sevilla. Right, okay. And then I think it was a case of, right, who are you going to buy? Well, I don't want anyone else apart from En-Nesyri. And I think now he's taking his time. Okay, we'll have to find someone else. Takes time. Okay, yep, I found myself another striker. His name's Darwin Nunez. Okay, we can't get Darwin Nunez. Who do you want? Okay, I'll go and have another look. That's what I think the problem is. Can he identify strikers? Yes, but he don't want to be palmed off of any old crap. That's for sure. All I would say, and I said this, I think I even might have mentioned it in today's video, so apologies if I repeat myself on that. Whilst he does dither, I do believe David Moyes identified at least 2 players in this window. One of them was Rafinha, and one of them was Darwin Nunez. So I think at the moment you identify a player. Now we had what's his name on Fabrizio Romano on. Fabrizio Romano said, well, no, that wasn't a transfer deadline day thing. He said he felt that West Ham had been bidding for the players for over a week before. So then it doesn't come down to David Moyes being indecisive. In the end, he made a decision with a week to go. It then comes down to the board not paying enough money to get the players. I understand Rafinha might have been unrealistic. However, they had a price, didn't they? As I believe the price was for Benfica was 65 million. We bid whatever it was, 45, 50. That's it. So I think David Moyes just wants good players now. This is it. Anyway, there we go. There's the headphones. I'm going to bring in Irish Tommy. Hello, mate.
Gonzo, how are you doing? Good to see you.
Oh, same to you, mate. A long time no see. How are you?
Doing well. I'm at home in Tipperary visiting Mum. She has a few chores that need doing, so.
Oh, good. Well, say hello to her. Say hello to her for me. She's obviously got a good internet.
Next door does.
Oh, are you at your mum's nicking next door's internet?
Not nicking it. I have permission.
Oh, okay. Are you at your mum's or are you next door?
No, I'm at my mum's, but I've got one of those TP-Link thingies. So
yes.
I do. It's an old woman that lives next door as well, elderly lady. I do a few chores for her as well and stuff. So she lets me nick her internet when I'm around.
Yeah, well, very nice. Well, a lovely arrangement. How are you feeling, mate, about West Ham at the moment?
Very good. Still buzzing from Thursday night. That was the performance we all really, really hoped we would get. There was a worry, obviously, on the back of the Brentford performance. I know you shared that. You spoke with Gonzo or Gio about it in the preview for that show. And of course, with Zuma being out as well. We had some worries. But I still felt confident. I felt like we were going to turn up. I was on with Matt and Anton on West Ham Network on would have been the Wednesday night.
And I predicted
and I predicted a 2-0 win. I felt like the boys. Yeah, I felt like the boys would put in a performance. I actually predicted Dawson to score from a corner as well. Actually.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So
I can't go and check that stuff now, but.
Yeah, you'll have to go and look at it now and make a liar out of me if you can.
No, but, I'm sure you did.
No, I did. I predicted 2-0. I felt like the boys would turn up for this game, that they would be up for it. I also felt, I know Declan Rice spoke about it after the game, I felt like the boys were, had their backs up a little bit over the antics of Lyon in that first leg. I felt like Moyes, we saw how absolutely irate Moyes was. Absolutely irate with the referee especially. So I felt there was a gripe there. And I felt our lads were determined that they were going to go there and turn this lot over. Plus, I don't think Lyon are a very good team. They are where they are in League On. It's not a brilliant league. They flatter to deceive. From what I saw of them in the first leg, I felt like they flattered to deceive. Yeah, they knocked the ball around nicely. They're good passers, good technical ability, but I didn't see anything there that scared me at all. And yeah, I expected us to win and go through. I was delighted with the manner of it, though, to go over there and it was the 3-0 trouncing, really.
Oh, it was. Away
Yeah,
from
and
home in Europe in the
yeah,
knockout rounds to go to another team's stadium and thrash them. I mean, that's what we did.
yeah,
But I think it's, sometimes you have to take a step back. Everyone's so jubilant and people are either there, and I love seeing the pictures of it, or they're in their front rooms dancing around their sofas or jumping up and down or whatever it is, sending their Chinese takeaway flying towards the ceiling or whatever it is. But when you take a step back and view it just as a football match, and sometimes I often find that it takes one of your non-West Ham friends to speak to you the next day and then say
yeah,
what they think about it. To actually think, wow, yeah, okay, because people will say, well done. Oh, I watched that. My word, you were dominant. I've not seen teams do that too many times away from home in Europe, English teams, and so I think
yeah.
it's magnificent. Do you know anything about Frankfurt at all?
No, what I know about Frankfurt could be written on the back of a stamp.
Okay.
So I know little to nothing about them, I'm afraid. So I have to plead ignorance on that one. But the other thing I'll say, yes, they're a German side, and I know there'll be a nervousness about that game. They're obviously a good side if they're in the Europa League semi-final, and they knocked out Barcelona, so they must be respected. But here's the thing, and it's the same reason I felt we would beat Lyon, and that I was confident of it, is that we had a great season last season. We finished 6th in the Premier League, the best and toughest league
Yeah.
in world football, and we're doing it again this season. We're currently in 6th, and almost the end of this season now.
Yeah.
That makes us better than most teams in Europe. It just
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
And the level at which we play every week is above what most teams have to experience. And that's why I think we've got a great chance of getting past Frankfurt, and why ultimately I think we will. And it's just the other thing that really impressed me from the boys against Lyon was just the self-belief. I mean, this is a group of players who've now taken care of Sevilla, which is no mean feat. That's impressive. And now they've done it again to Lyon. This is a group of players who absolutely believe that they're going to go beat Frankfurt, that they can beat whoever is put in front of them in this competition. Now, whether we'll do it or not is another question, but the absolute self-belief among the players is there. They know what they're capable of. And I believe they'll go and turn over Frankfurt. And I believe in them too, and I think they will.
And why shouldn't they, quite frankly? Because I watched the FA Cup earlier. Oh, it's come some tremendous, I say some tremendous teams. There were two tremendous teams on show there. And I took a step back, actually. Again, I watched it. I thought, wow, we've beaten both these teams this season. And
yeah.
I mean, the first half, Liverpool were irresistible. Second half, Man City really came back and started almost playing Liverpool at their own game, but they're wonderfully gifted technical players. And I think it was really when Mane scored the third for Liverpool, and it was just the build-up was Thiago was really involved, the vision he'd use, and obviously I think Trent was involved, who'd scored that really good goal against us and whatnot. And I just looked and thought, wow, that's a team. But one of the teams of the ages, well, two of them, you were seeing them go up against each other. I just thought, wow, for us to beat that team. And then I started thinking about it, and you talk about belief there, and we've beaten Chelsea, and of course we've beaten Tottenham this season. It's that, I know, if that was a physical thing, they call it like muscle memory, but it's in the memory bank for these players that actually they can beat anyone. It's not some rousing speech that David Moyes is a lower league manager in the FA Cup, that when, I don't know, whatever, Kidderminster are playing Manchester United, that the Kidderminsters, come on lads, we can do this, and the lads thinking, yeah, and they'll get G'd up, but they don't really believe it, because he can say whatever motivational talk he wants to give with absolute certainty, and the players will receive it as it's delivered and take it at face value. When David Moyes says we can beat this team and this is how we're going to do it, because actually this tactical plan has worked against X, Y, Z. And I'll tell you now, when we attack like we did against what's it? Against Lyon, against Olympique Lyonnais. I love that football, and I don't just say it now. Anybody that's been either when I was used to just write on the forums or whatever, I've been doing West Ham stuff for however long I've been doing it. I loved the Sons of Pardew because I said we attacked quickly. We didn't take too long to attack. I don't mean I love long ball. That's what I'm saying. But I like to attack in 4 or 5 passes if possible. Right? I love it. I get excited by it. And that's why I sort of prefer Liverpool's football over Man City's. I've said this consistently over the years. And we're playing a brand of football now that I love. I love it. That's what I call Premier League football, actually. Traditional sort of English, British, if you like, football. And I absolutely love it, mate.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I couldn't agree more, actually, Gonzo. And I've felt that way for actually a number of years.
Yeah.
And the contrast, if you look at Lyon, all this tippy-tappy, they're playing 10 and 15 passes in their own half.
Yeah.
Between their own back line and a midfielder, a couple of midfielders, and tippy-tappy, they're going nowhere. Yeah, it looks all very neat and tidy and pretty, but it does nothing for you. And I'm like you, I prefer to be more direct and let's get the ball forward. And, Lyon, like I said, I felt they flattered to deceive. They're very tippy-tappy. And I'm going to say something. I know some people watching in the chat are going to find this maybe hilarious because they were possibly greatest club team of all time. But even when Barcelona were in their pomp, there were times I would watch them and I would just be absolutely bored off my tits. I was like, this just doesn't do it for me. This 100 passes over and back, tippy-tappy back to the fullback, and then across and across and across and in and back and across. And to me, it just didn't do anything for me. Even though I know they're wonderful players and a magnificent team and won everything.
Yeah,
it's just not for me. It just doesn't entertain me. I prefer more direct football, and it works tremendously for us. David Moyes has got that system absolutely down to a T. The players know exactly what they're doing. There's a kind of telepathy there. And there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to play the game. And this really works for us. We've got the personnel that can play that kind of game and that are comfortable playing that kind of game. And it's why Moyes doesn't like changing things up too much because, the system is set. And the players that are out there are so completely gelled to the system and to each other that he doesn't like messing with it too much. Formation-wise or personnel-wise.
His reluctance to sign just anybody in terms of what are your thoughts? I've not spoken to you about that. What are your thoughts on our buying policy?
It's frustrating. Too frustrating. I think I can understand. I understand some of what Moyes says. I mean, I completely get that he doesn't want to sign a player for the sake of signing a player. I would never want us to do that. I think we've done that in the past. Yeah. We've bought players in purely for numbers and for no other reason. That we can get this guy and we need numbers, so let's just sign them. And that's generally been a disaster for us, the last number of years. And I'm glad that that's changed. I'm glad that Moyes is being much more particular about the kind of players that he wants to sign. I'm sure Moyes actually looks at their character as well, not just their style of play and their ability. I think he cares about what kind of people he brings to the club. If you could have a Declan Rice in every position, with that kind of attitude, that's what you want. So I understand from that point of view, and I think it is the right thing to do. But I think sometimes Moyes can kind of just completely stall. He can just be too slow to sign a player and be a little bit too like, I don't know. And then he's, do I want this player or not? And then he doesn't. And we really, really should have got a striker of some description in January. We desperately need one. if he'd have only done that, at least I would have said, okay, at least we've got a striker now, and we can put up top proper number 9. But again, he's kind of getting away with it a little bit. Yarmolenko has come back, from doing what he had to do in Ukraine and getting his family out of there, and he's come in and scored a couple of massive goals.
Yes.
That have really helped our season big time. So Yarmolenko's dug him out a little bit, but it could still come back to bite us. We just have to pray now, because obviously Antonio's looking at a lot of football now these next few weeks, and we just have to pray that he can keep this going for a little while longer. And if we go on and, fingers crossed, win the Europa League, or finish in that top 6 and qualify for it again through the league, then Moyes will have just about gotten away with it again. So he'll have been a bit of a lucky boy, because we really needed to sign a striker in January, because it could have gone badly. It could have gone belly up. I mean, if we'd have lost Antonio for a significant period of time, I think that would have had a hugely detrimental effect on our season. I mean, look what he did in Lyon.
Yeah.
If we don't have him, what happens in that game? Where's that out ball? What happens when that ball goes up the field? It just doesn't stick. So, and it could be a totally different game. So he's been a bit lucky, I think. But transfer policy-wise, I think we need to be a bit more decisive. I don't know if it's a case of maybe we need to have more targets identified. I would like to think that Moyes didn't have like 1 or 2 strikers. Like, it can just be one of these 2 guys. Because it's going to be very difficult at times, particularly in January, to get one of those 2. I'd rather we have a scouting network in place where we can identify kind of 4 or 5 strikers where you're thinking, any one of these guys can come in and really do a job, and we like all of these guys. And you can have your priorities from 1 to 5 or whatever, but I think we need to make sure we have enough targets, because you're always going to miss out on some of your targets. It's inevitable, whether a fee can't be agreed, or players' agents being greedy, or contract is ridiculous that they're looking for, or the parent club are being a pain, or another club comes in and hijacks it. And so I think we need to make sure that we can account for those kind of scenarios, so that if that one falls through, we're straight on to the next one. So hopefully in the summer, hopefully we can make it much more efficient.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I let you go, can we do it?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm referring to, obviously, yes.
Yeah, look, we've knocked out Sevilla, and now we've knocked out Lyon, and we dispatched Lyon, frankly, with ease in the circumstances. And it would have been much worse than 4-1 for Lyon had we had 11 men for 90 minutes in the first leg.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Yes.
So, we really swatted Lyon aside. To pester some fly.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck the fire blanket on them, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, yes. But yeah, look, Frankfurt are a decent side. They'll give us a game. There won't be as much in it as there was in the Lyon game, but we're still, I think, a better side than them. I think, like I said earlier, we have to remember what we are now. We're not the old West Ham now. The flaky kind of lower, bottom half Premier League team. Like, we're a force now at this level of competition, Europa League. We're a force, and I believe we're better than Frankfurt. I believe we're better than Rangers, and I think we can go absolutely toe to toe with Leipzig and have a pop at them.
Words, Tommy. Good words, mate.
So, there's not saying we will. Obviously,
no.
This is football. Things can go wrong, but capability.
I mean, we could lose Antonio. We could lose that scenario that you said can still happen. He's not quite cracked it yet. He's not quite got away with it yet, Moyes. But you're absolutely right. Listen, mate, I'm going to let you go now. Just do with a chat. Great. I love hearing your opinions, mate, and thanks ever so much for your positivity as well. On you were saying things that I sort of want to say, but didn't quite. I don't know if I've got superstitious or something, but honestly, it's lovely to speak to you, mate, and come back on again soon.
We'll do. We're massive. Don't forget, Gonzo. We're massive.
We Yeah, massive. All the stuff. Good. Cheers, Tommy. Take care. Go.
Thanks, Gonzo.
Better go and do a job for the lady next door now. You've nicked her Wi-Fi for a bit. Cheers, mate. See you later.
So,
Cheers,
thanks.
mate. Irish Tommy there. Great guy. Great guy. And well, he's not wrong, is he? Let's be perfectly honest. Look, hold on. Let's just get to a few more of this. These. Okay, so Stan's lad said, I'm ashamed to say that I didn't think we would win on Thursday, so I promised the missus a week in Portugal if we did. Anyway, hello from Portugal. Oh, I love that. Is that true? Is that true? Have you actually have gone straight? Has that happened? You've gone, we won, and you still go to Portugal. Well done. Don't be ashamed. I mean, it's easy to get nervous before games, I'll tell you that much. Steve said, I had tears in my eyes when we beat Lyon. I'll be a mess for the Europa League. I was exactly the same. Honestly, I thought, what on earth is wrong with me? But it's years. I don't think the thing is, Steve, you invest all these years in something you're passionate about and something you care about. And anybody that flippantly says it's just a football game, they don't get it. They don't get the hours of emotional investment. They don't get the way you would tailor your holiday, your working week, you're in many respects, and it sounds a bit sad to say it, but it's true. You sort of tailor your life sometimes around the West Ham schedule. So it's not just a football match. And when you get there and when you get something that you haven't had, so you feel you've been denied, then it is extra sweet, extra special. And of course you're going to get emotional about it. So look, I'm not suggesting for a second that the Liverpool fans don't enjoy it when they get. Let's say Man City, because obviously they win more than Liverpool. The Man City fans don't enjoy it. I'm pretty sure when they won their first trophy after like the money came in, I bet that was something really special for them. But I bet on against Lyon, I bet that you and me, Steve, and everybody else watching this felt more elated and more emotional than City did when they won the title last season. Big claim, but I think I have a suspicion it's right. And where have we got? Okay, so sorry, this one there. Is Benny going? Possibly. I mean, he's not part of Moyes' first team plans. But to say, is he going? It depends if somebody came in for him. If somebody comes in for Ben Rama at 5 million plus add-ons, no, he's not going to let him go. If somebody came in and offered us 15 million for Ben Rama, I think Moyes would let him go. That's just what I think. Thank you, G-Man. Very nice of you, my friends. Wow, here we go. Antonio Sariolas. I like it. Who would have thought we'd be there a couple of years ago fighting relegation? It's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Frankfurt are the most decent team. Is that right? I don't. Are the most decent team to win a European competition? Have they won a European competition? Have they? I don't know anything about them. We need to see the new celebration Antonio's got lined up. Do you know what? If he plays like that, I don't care if he plays like that and we win. I don't care if we don't see it. Quite frankly, we don't see another goal between now and the at the end of the season. Sorry, just I'm laughing at what Chris Harris wrote there. Okay, right. So this answers my question. I'm a long way back in the chat. You'll see Tottenham, Brentford away next. Oh, mind you, they're in good. They don't want to play Brentford at the moment. You're right, Jazza. I was just thinking it's an easier game. It's not an easier game, is it? They're in really good form, Brentford, actually. Obviously, since Ericsson came in as well. Well, this is interesting, isn't it? Really, I think we have a good chance of getting fourth, especially if we win tomorrow. Oh, Malik. Okay, I don't know why I've got superstitious. I'm sort of almost anytime anyone says anything positive, I was pushing back on it. Mate, come on. I hope so. Hi, Gonzo and the gang, says Fremer. Let's have a little read of this one here from Arthur. He says, me and my late father sat amongst the Frankfurt fans in the East End at Upton Park in 1976. They were bloody noisy that night, but fair play to them. They applauded at the end and we shook hands. Nice memory, mate. Nice memory. Media meltdown. Look, the media are... sorry, just in case you're listening and not watching, I just put a comment up on the screen, so I need to do better at that sort of thing. As Kevin Locke says, imagine winning Europa and qualifying for the Champions League by finishing fourth. There'd be a media meltdown. I actually I'm never totally impressed by the media. It has to be said. That being said, I was impressed today by Adrian Dummerham, who's not my favourite one. Basically, there's a reporter for TalkSport called Nigel Pearson, and he died. He died this morning, and very sad. He's only 52, and wow, what a tribute by Adrian Durham. Yeah, really. So yeah, look, fair play. I won't be knocking TalkSport today. That's for sure. The media, look, clearly they have their favourites, but I think some of them, it depends who they are. I think some of them quite like the West Ham story. It was really when we played Aston Villa. Forget all the diving. The diving's got nothing to do with the Aston Villa fans. That's just, I think, some residual stuff left over from the previous manager and the way the team was set out to play that day. But the fans, they've got good fans, Aston Villa. Now, it was really when the Aston Villa fans said, what we want to do is be like West Ham. What they meant was get at a point where we're mixing it. We're giving the top clubs a bloody nose and then getting into Europe as well. And I think in that sense, in a way that Leicester were, that we are we're something that a lot of the other clubs would look towards. I think actually we will have some of that. I think we possibly would have some goodwill, hopefully, on our side if it comes down to us and the bigger clubs, because it's good. You know, it is really, really good to see it. At the end of the day, you want to see your National League doing well and it being healthy, and it's only healthy if more teams are competitive, I guess. It gives everybody else hope. I got hope when Leicester won the Premier League, which was our last season at Upton Park. Gave me hope that one day we might be able to do it. It ain't all about money. And the one thing I'd say, well, not the one thing, I'd say many things about David Moyes. One of the things I would say about David Moyes is David Moyes can get us near the top without having to spend as much money as the others. Well, that's a hell of a thing. That it's like, you know, it's like a Formula One driver saying, well, I can match his lap times without quite as fast a car as that guy's got. So, you know, I think we've got a good a chance. Donna, come along now. Anyway, just looking through. Hold on a second. See, this is how late we are. Just anyway. I tell you what, this is Antonio Areola again. It would be a party. It would be a party to remember. That's for sure. Going back to the Premier League, Jazz said, what's interesting is that Wolves have the same team to play as us. Do they really? Apart from they play Liverpool and we play Arsenal. That is interesting. That is interesting, actually. It's going to be tight. We've got a little bit of daylight between us. I mean, it's actually quite simple, really. Finish above Wolves. If that's our aim, then anything else is a bonus. But what a bonus. The bonus is on offer of winning a European trophy, of qualifying for the Champions League via that, or getting Europa League again, or even higher still, getting Champions League for the league. There is still so much to play for. Clearly, we can't win either of the cups because we've been knocked out of both of them. But yeah, Wolves, I think that the bread and butter has got to be finishing above Wolves. But I also think as a byproduct, if we keep that as our, just make sure we keep them in sight and, you know, just making sure we keep winning. And tomorrow is huge. Everybody said it and people continue to say it in this chat. As a byproduct, you may well find that if you finish above Wolves, you may well finish above Manchester United as well. I do think that may well be the case. Yeah, I mean, Hammer's dad said Burnley have to win 2. It won't be easy. No, I think it wouldn't have been easy against Sean Dyche. It shouldn't be easy, and it might not be easy, but it also might be. Now, I'm aware I've covered every base there. We could win, lose, or draw. I understand that. I think under Sean Dyche, it definitely wouldn't have been easy. But anything could happen tomorrow. That's the instability of a club. There's many things that got us through. Against Olympique Lyonnais, but one of the reasons was a core group of players and our stability of a club. There's none of that crap going on at West Ham. You know, that everyone knows who the manager is. Everyone knows who. There's stability, and I think one of the reasons you've got with Manchester United, the problems they've got at the moment, is a lack of stability and they're rudderless. I just think when you start to take the rudder out of the equation, that's what Burnley have done. You start to list and steer off course and whatnot. capsize, maybe. If we're being nautical and maritime. Let's have a look here. What's Major saying? I shan't be having any Frankfurters until after semi-final. Quite right. Got to have your standards. You've got to have your standards. Okay, sorry, he's been posting a lot. Man U will get top 4 because of Ronaldo. Hope they don't. They're arrogant, basically. Look, they may or may not. Ronaldo can't, as great a player as he is, he can't do it all on his own for every game for the remainder of the season because he is remarkable, but he's already been told he's not wanted there. The current manager doesn't play him all the time. And he just can't keep doing it like that. I'm not saying he's finished and he's retiring, but he's not a 28-year-old Ronaldo. Has Ronaldo got a force of personality? Ever remember the Portugal and Sweden game? Him and Ibrahimovic. Remarkable. As one of the few times, I always think it's amazing when one player dominates a game, because there's 22 players out there. But it was basically, it might as well just been Ibrahimovic against Ronaldo. It was quite outrageous, these two massively gifted players with these personalities. Just and eventually Portugal won. I think it might have been a qualifier. I think it might have been a playoff, quite possibly. He's not at that level anymore. As brilliant as he is not at that level. What Man United have got to worry about, though, is that he's clearly Manchester United's best player by a distance, and that's a problem for them. So I'm not sure they get top 4. I'm not sure. I really don't. I am bloody far behind in my comments. Right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to scroll down loads. So I'll give it another 10 minutes, and then we'll leave. Oh, bloody hell. Tom, you look cheeky. You cheeky minx. Thank you very much. He said he was on Mark Goldbridge's live earlier, and he was going about how it doesn't matter if West Ham win Europa League. They can't get Champions League without being 4th. But I'm pretty sure we can. That's not true, Tom. Thanks for the donation, mate. It's very kind of you. No. 5 teams. I checked this out. I spoke to Gio about this. 5 teams maximum from each country can qualify for the Champions League. So, what's he said? Doesn't matter if West Ham win the Europa League. Yes. Yeah, we can. So, if West Ham win the Europa League and a top 4 stays as it is, so the top 4 at the moment is Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, then that's it. Those 4 all qualify for the Champions League, and so do West Ham. It's it. UEFA went to great lengths, by the way, Tom, to make the Europa League more attractive, more important. They knew it was very much seen as the bridesmaid rather than the bride, basically. So they upped the prize money, which obviously we've been a beneficiary of, and they gave it the ultimate prize at the end, which was to get into the Champions League. And obviously they've done it with the Conference League. They've done the winner will then go into the Europa League in the next year. Thanks for that, though, mate. It's, and funnily enough, it's there you go. The boy's not right. No, he's got that wrong. It's Mark Goldbridge, isn't it? He's the Manchester United podcast. He's hold on, I don't know. Sorry, I can't. I'm so far behind on the stream. Sorry, Gazza. I don't know what that's. I don't know what that's. I can't remember what I said, so I can't remember what you're correcting me on. Rumor is Dice got a punch up last week, and Burnley got ribbed before it comes out in the media. Oh, major breaking news! Probably not breaking news. You probably knew about it yesterday. Breaking news here. I didn't know that. Interesting. Love the old split screen there. I think that's a T1. They call that one a T1. The split screen VW. I'd love one of those. Bloody hell. They're not cheap. This is how behind I am in the chat, by the way. So apologies. I'll scroll down again. So apologies if I miss them out. David's obviously talking about the punch up. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Can't wait for the Frankfurt game, by the way. Here's something I'd like to deal with here. Gaza, I'd take him, and Weghorst, mate. Right, I don't know him. I don't know who him is. I take it. I can't see that. Well, the other day we were talking about it's Dwight McNeil, isn't it? I like him. I think he's good. Weghorst, I've got to say, I don't think he'd suit us at all. I really don't. I don't think he'd suit the way we play. When I've seen him, he ain't looked bad at all. And I think for the way Burnley play, yes. for the fast counter attack and all that, and the way we play, I just can't. Honestly, I didn't see it and see that's the guy. And I always keep it in mind that Moyes always likes a winger type player. Did it with what's his name, with Arnautovic. He's done it with Antonio. When we were linked with Rafinha, and people were saying, well, where's he going to play? Well, two things on that, by the way. Well, where's he going to play? Where's he going to play? Bowen already plays there. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say our squad's small. Oh, but you can't buy him because someone else plays there. Clearly, we need more than 11 players. But I would not have been at all surprised if Moyes had got Rafinha and said, right, you're a striker as well. And still played him on the wing and stuff like that. In many respects, I think if what you want to do is keep a small squad, that's the way to go. Just have 2 or 3 players that can play in several positions. Ben Johnson would be a case in point. Bowen would be another one for now. This is what you want. You don't just want straight-jacketed players. Cresswell is another great example. There you go. So James talking about McNeil there as well. He's a good player. He's very direct. I think he would suit us. Not quite as good as the Leicester one, Barnes. But good, still good. And Moyes, I think Moyes, by and large, improves players. And Moyes improves players if they've got a good attitude as well. And I think, actually, that's not... No, actually, I think not always the case. Vlasic has got an excellent attitude, hasn't he? I'm not sure he's particularly improved him. He might come good, though. He might come good. To see the way he was celebrating. It was unused substitute. See him celebrating. It was like he was, just really one of the lads there. I think it was... yeah, absolutely the case. And there's a few people saying about Dwight McNeil there. What's his Scarborough Hammer? I don't think Nunez joins. Would love us to take a punt on Bolo. I think he's built for the league. I mean, the thing is with someone like Nunez, you almost get. And I wasn't impressed the first time I saw him play a proper game. I wasn't. I thought he was a little bit too divey, and I didn't think I think he lacked the commitment. But apparently he played much better in that second game against Liverpool. It was 3-3, I believe. Apparently he was much, much better. So, as I said in that video, I'd only made a judgment. I was quite open about it. I made a judgment after seeing him play in one game. Apparently he was much better in the second one. I think the thing is, and this is what maybe the club need to start to appreciate. When we were first linked with Darwin Nunez, I said, "Who's Darwin Nunez?" And I googled him and found out about him. And I wouldn't mind betting a lot of people were the same. That ship has sailed now. Everyone knows who he is because he's played in the knockout rounds in the Champions League against a high-profile team like Liverpool. So almost your chance to get him has gone. He's not he's only 22. He's not the unknown young player. He's now would be seen as one of the players who would interest that. I'm not saying it's definitely gone, by the way, because I don't think, for the same reasons that Tommy was just saying, I don't think there are a ton of clubs who are better than West Ham. I do think if Man City or Paris Saint-Germain or Real Madrid or Liverpool, whatever, there's a number of clubs, but not loads of them. If they come in for a player, then they're going to get them before West Ham. But don't assume that this Darwin Nunez is going to Barcelona or Juventus, because if he doesn't, in fact, he won't go to Juventus because they bought the Serbian lad, didn't they? Who's a bloody good player, by the way. Anyway, we have a chance of getting him if we got European football. We've got a massive chance if we're in the Champions League. We could get almost anyone there. And Bolo, every time I've seen him, I like him. I think he does. Funny enough, when I was saying about Weghorst, I don't look at him and think he doesn't really suit the way West Ham play. Well, as soon as I saw him Bolo, I thought, well, yeah, he does. He does. Anyway, a couple more comments before we. Hold on, what's going on here? It's Michael. Chris, I'm gutted. I'm at a stage sending a sneaky message between songs. Okay, so Michael is he's a singer. I think I guess he's still out in Tenerife. He is a singer. So I take it at the moment Michael is doing his set. So he's probably mid Sinatra at the moment. Fly me to the moon. I can't believe how well West Ham played against Lyon. He's doing sneaky messages in between his songs. Good for him. I like him. Maybe he can record a little outro for us or something like that one day. That might be nice, Michael. And he's He's a good guy, a great supporter of the channel, but more importantly, a West Ham fan. Chris, I liked Fabrizio Romano. I had a prejudgment he was going to be a flash, like Ronaldo's agent, but he seemed like a really decent player. Very, very polite, very nice. He's on stage. There we go. Right, couple more. It's typical Irishman, like Gio, pinching stuff. Oh, I love the Cookie Monster there. He's obviously referring to Irish Tommy stealing his mother's neighbour's internet to join us on a live Hammers Chat stream. And let's be fair, there's no suggestion that he stole the fire blanket. I think that is his mum's fire blanket. That actually made me feel a little bit underprepared. Maybe I was watching that thinking maybe I should have a fire blanket. I think I should. I feel like I should have a fire blanket in the kitchen. Such as there's no reflection on my cooking, by the way, which is excellent. Fish pie tonight. Oh dear, house is on fire. No, actually you shouldn't joke about such stuff, should you? I'm sorry. I'm so superstitious at the moment. It's terrible. Let's have a look. Malik says, we're looking at Weghorst in the Prem. Looks like he might have been a good player for... Oh, there you go. There's the alternative opinion to that. Hold on. Oh, the elderly are too trusting. I'd never let anyone who wasn't sat in my house share my internet. Not casting any aspersions, Tommy, I promise. Oh, Tommy, he's a good lad. He's doing jobs for her next door. He's probably, whatever, mowing the lawn or stuff like that. And when he's finished, he probably goes around there with his hand out and says, "Oh, young man," and probably gives him tuppence and and whatever, little bit of lemon drizzle cake or whatever the case may be. And he said, "Oh, do you mind if I borrow your internet? Got to go and link up. I'm going to go and talk about how massive West Ham are." And she probably said, "I don't understand, darling." Anyway, there you go. Hamburgers are from Hamburg, and Frankfurters are, of course, from Frankfurt. And spuds, well, they're just potatoes, aren't they? Really? Anyway, I'm going to sort of leave it there. You lovely, lovely lot. Thank you so much for joining me. I do. There's so many. It's so. I'll tell you what. I changed up the procedure for joining today, and you wouldn't have known because all of you that have joined in and you've all been sort of members and followers and subscribers for a little while, but very, very nice chat. That's all I can say. Lovely, lovely people. So I can't believe how many comments there are. I don't think I've ever had so many bloody comments. Well, not obviously after a game we have, but not just during a thing. Oh, hold on. Let me just. Sorry. That's Gatesy, Fortramaya. Who was on no, he wasn't. He went to let me just tell you about Gatesy. So Fortune Mine is his channel. Go and give it a little look up. He's a good man. Very, very lovely guy. He went out to Lyon and he was one of the fans that bought a ticket, but then they took it back. So he actually went out there and didn't get to see the game, but I think he had a thoroughly good time anyway. So, do you know what? Fair play, mate. Fair play. Thanks everyone. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go now. Otherwise, I end up doing these things for ages, and I end up saying goodbye 1,000 times. So goodbye. Game tomorrow. I'll just leave this up there. I won't be doing a video first thing in the morning. Myself and GL will be live an hour and 5 minutes before kickoff. By the way, tomorrow's game is, of course, at 2:15. London Stadium, 2:15. So we will be with you. That's a weird time, isn't it? 2:15. We will be with you. Maybe it's got something to do with, I don't know, must have something to do with the FA Cup or something. We'll be with you at 10 minutes past 1. Charlie will be taking you through on the watch along. Myself and Jill will be back for a review. And then there'll be probably another cheeky video up in the evening or something like that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever it is you're going to do. I'm going to go and eat fish pie it's going to be a dangerous fish pie because I won't have a fire blanket. Thank you very much, Irish Tommy, for joining me. Thanks to everyone in the chat. I do mean this actually massively. Thanks for all the comments there and all the comments sort of during the last 2 or 3 weeks. As I'm sure you know, I read them and I comment on them, and I really do appreciate it. And I like the interactive nature of this channel. Right, I'm going to go. Oh, I started watching. No, I'm just going to tell you about a film. I'm not sorry. I've got verbal diarrhea. I can't stop talking. I'll see you later. Goodbye, one and all. Take care.